Welcome to another Live Unbroken podcast. I think this is number 10 or 11. I've lost track of numbers. I'm really sorry, team. It'll be on the description. I should have done. Before doing the intro, figure out which number one. I was trying to think of nicknames for you two. I was like, we have to have like a duo nickname. I came up with Beard and the Brook. That's my new nickname for you two mentally. But I'm here with Mario and James. I would like to say by popular demand, but it was more their popular demand than anyone else's. They're keen for some co-hosting duties on the podcast. So and I'll tee this up while we're the three of us around the table again talking to you guys out there in the Perpetua Nation. It's all about open season. We're talking CrossFit Open today. I put out a little video the other day, just kind of reasons to get signed up, but we wanted to kind of add some context to that with like the broader coaching opinion on the Open, and also I know you guys are fully armed with facts and opinions and all the reasons that you should enter the Open, things to look out for in the Open. That's the kind of message today. Cool? Yeah. So James Shane, Mario Da Costa Henriques. I'm always conscious, am I pronouncing that right?
Da Costa Henriques works.
Okay.
Yeah, bit of a... Yeah, that's good. That's right.
Cool.
What did you say? Just so that
you know.
Da Costa Henriques.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like that. Yeah. Close enough.
He was like, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Because it's the way you say it.
And of course, my name's Adam Giles, aka the original Gilesy, as I'm fondly reminded by my co-workers. So gents, open season. It's upon us.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts?
Do it.
Yeah, do it. I've never
Brilliant. We're done. We're out of here. That's the
just all the motivation that you need.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, do it.
But to be honest, and like I say, we can dig deeper into this. For me, when I say do it, I'm not any different to anybody else in the gym, to any member. I have that conversation with myself, really. It's just when I look at it, and I'll give you my views later on, but I can't tell myself any more information other than that. Just like do it, it's as much convincing as it takes. To be honest, some people it doesn't, but at the end, it's just going to be a matter of you 10 times out of 10 going, yeah, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. It's just the initial phase where you're kind of unsure. Just do it. That's a conversation I have with myself, because I know, fortunately, this is my fourth one. So I know that at the end, which every time up until now, at the end, when I finished the 5 weeks, I've been like, oh, that was so amazing. I've learned so much. So glad I did that. And it would have been a shame had I not done any of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've never regretted doing it.
Yeah.
I've competed since 2012. I took a year off when I was in Saudi Arabia, just because there was no equipment or anything like that. But every year that I have been able to do it, I've done it. And yeah, you never regret doing it. The workouts themselves are great. It's a great expression and kind of diagnostic of where your fitness is at the moment, and also the community aspect of working out with people, like it really does bring people together.
Yeah, for sure.
It's that kind
100%.
of, and having done it for that many years, it's the year-on-year improvement. Like in the first year that I did it, I didn't have double unders, I didn't have muscle ups, I repeated the workout where they came up was repeated. The year after, got through the double unders, got muscle ups, and so it's that useful kind of year-on-year progression, because often, other than those breakthrough moments where it's like, okay, I've done my first muscle up now, it's that it's very easy to lose sight of the actual improvements you're making.
Yeah,
it doesn't
100%.
seem like a big deal when you put like 2 or 5 kilos on a back squat, but over the course of the year, when you look at those numbers going up year on year, it's a much better look at where you are.
Okay, so we're kind of giving you some thoughts in terms of why you might want to sign up, and I think just for all the members that are watching and anyone who's not a member here and is either another CrossFit affiliate, I mean, you know where to come. And also, if you're just kind of getting into fitness and you've seen some CrossFit and you wonder what it is, and maybe you've stumbled across our YouTube channel and you're kind of watching this podcast and you're like, oh, the Open, yeah, I've heard about that. What's it all about? We'll talk a bit more about the Open and CrossFit Open. And we have no benefit in selling this. We don't get commissioned on it as much as you probably think. The way that we bang on about it is purely because the three of us here and all the coaches that train here have got something out of the thing, right? And James and Mario have just kind of alluded to and confirmed a few of the major reasons that you should look at it as a great expression of your fitness, and also a great way of giving yourself goals and testing your fitness on a yearly basis, an annual basis. I mean, I certainly speak from experience in being a completely different athlete year 3 for me than year 1, like completely different, like almost to the point where I'm like, don't even reckon. I look at pictures from the year 1 when I'm like overhead squatting 50 kilos and my arms are about to fall off. Yeah. And just, you know, now I do that and it doesn't look like my arms are going to fall off. I just still look like I'm struggling a little bit. But no, seriously, the improvement's vast, and it's just a great way to give yourself some kind of recognition and a pat on the back. Sometimes it's just like, shit, I never thought I'd get. And they normally repeat a workout. We'll come into like some of the Dave Castro, CrossFit Games, CrossFit.com isms in a bit, but they normally repeat a workout, so it's always a good way for you to be like, nailed that, absolutely nailed that.
Yeah, it's one of the core tenets is observable, measurable, repeatable, and so that's why they always repeat a workout. And even on top of that, it sets challenges in front of you that, you know, in a class you are always, sometimes tempted to scale a weight or to scale a movement standard. Yeah. When that hard barrier, that hard kind of bar for entry is set in front of you, and you can't, you can go into the scaled open, obviously, but when that's put in front of you, people will often get their first muscle up because they have to. There's no other choice if they want to complete it RX. Yeah, for me, it was, I'd done a couple of muscle ups, and it was that year where it's like 7 muscle ups at the start of the workout, and I'd only done. Don't get in. Exactly, like, I'd only ever done 2. I was like, looking at, shit. I managed to do all 7, get back to the ring to do another couple in the second round. It was like, that environment bred that for me. It's like one of my fondest CrossFit memories, having all your mates cheering you on, kind of hitting that thing, and like just feel electricity through your body. Like, fuck me, I'm flying. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of, it sounds really base level. Some people probably listen to this going, I've had muscle up since I came out of the womb. But for some of us mere mortals, it's quite nice to get those kind of moments and those achievable moments. And I guarantee. Have you done anything?
What, the new movements?
Yeah, like, or just a revelation during a workout.
I've PB'd in the Open. I've got better at things for sure. I've had no revelations as such, to be honest. But
what did you PB?
My clean and jerk.
After that.
Exactly. After an AMRAP, so that was pretty cool. But exactly that, right? I call it some people call fight or flight. I call it death or flight. But similar to what you were saying, right? Jump out of the nest and try fly. If you fly, you're good to go. If you don't fly, you hit the floor and you're done. But in a positive note, that's the best opportunity, like you say. And I see it year on year. You see it with people who saw it yourself. You'll see it this year, no doubt. And it's just another, like you say, another reason for people to enter.
But that's a really good point of your flight or death kind of message, and you either succeed. And one thing I would say is for those people like, but what happens if you die? It's like, failure's okay. Actually embrace failure. You will only learn through not being able to do something. Like for me, last year was, I can't handstand push up all that well. That 55, we repeated it the other day actually, that 55 deadlift, wall ball row, and then handstand push-up workout, and I quadrupled my score. But you know, just because I couldn't handstand push-up last year, and it was like, well, what my focus is for this year is handstand push-up. So another cool message always from me is that you probably will fail at something. Like even the most veteran of athletes get found out in some area, and it might be small, it might be personal, you watch those. You watch the pros do it, and they kind of, make it look easy. But I'm sure during that workout, there's some time that they're like, my shoulders just, fatigued at a level I didn't expect them to, and it slowed me down. And yes, they finished the workout, but they were expecting to do better or what have you. I'm sure there's little things like that we don't get to see.
They definitely didn't make that paperwork.
Genius, yeah, for sure. And like handstand ring push-ups in the games last year, like there always something comes up where you see people fail, and that's okay because it gives you something to work on.
But then they all came back the next year.
Yeah, nailed it.
And nailed the pegboard. The same thing with, especially the females in one of the first games, they put ring muscle-ups in.
Annie Thorsdottir very famously on captured on video.
Like very few women could actually get over the rings, and everyone said, "Oh, it's too harsh a standard. Females shouldn't be, they should be able to scale it." Well, they came back the next year and they all did it, and so this idea that you should have an option to have an out, if you put it in front of people, they will achieve it.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
As simple as that.
So I think there's a couple of good tips there. We're talking about getting involved for yourself, so you learn something about yourself, you might achieve something new, and also allow you to understand what you need to work and give you a focus for the year. We talked a couple of times about scaling, and there is a scaled version of the Open. What are your thoughts on why people or who should do the scaled version? Because I think I've got a fairly clear idea in my head what I think a scaled person, athlete looks like.
Yeah.
But what do you think in terms of who should be scaling that? Because we've kind of just said everyone should give the RX a go for those reasons. Why would you go scaled, or who should go scaled?
I think the first thing to note is that you can scale any of the workouts. If you enter the RX, you can essentially post a scaled score for any one of the workouts. You can mix and match. So if there are one or two movement standards that are beyond you, like you can't do muscle ups, for example, you still want to get a good workout in. If there is a movement standard that is fully beyond you, like if a workout comes up with muscle ups in and you do not have pull-ups and or dips, then you're not going to get your first, realistically, you're not going to get your first muscle up in that open workout. And so that then becomes somebody that is on the rings attempting a muscle up without those strength requirements. That becomes a safety issue for me in terms of their shoulder health, for example.
Yeah.
I would scale that movement because realistically they cannot safely get over the rings. If you've got pull-ups and ring dips and the only thing is the transition, there's a skill piece, give RX a go.
Yeah.
Because you never know what might happen. But we have to be realistic in our expectations. Mostly, I mean, it's hard to give a full kind of, a scaled athlete has this, and this, because there's so much variation. Generally, I would have done a scaled open in my first 6 months, probably, just because of the intensity, and it means that I get a better workout in reduced load, stroke movement standards, then I can increase the intensity. Yeah. But some people come in on week one that are more capable than I was in my first couple of years of CrossFit, and so it depends. But I think that for movements that are realistically beyond you, scale that. Everything else, if it's a bit heavy, just get some exposure to going heavy in a Metcon, for example. If you're capable of doing it. I hit a snatch PB 30 times in that first open. It was a snatch ladder, and I'd never hit 61 kilos before. Got under it, just had no idea, had warmed up to 50, 55 and was failing. But under the harsh lights, with all of your friends around you cheering, with adrenaline going, hit it easily, and then hit it again another 29 times. Then I knew that 70 or 75 or whatever it was beyond me. So in terms of safety, I then stopped to kind of safely lift that weight. But it makes all the difference. So it depends on the situation and the athlete, but so long as you can safely do something, do it. If it's definitely beyond you, then go scale. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Mario?
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Yeah, no, I agree on the fact that it's so hard to basically put in brackets of this is you're scaled, you're this, you're that. I think the best thing personally, I'm not sure, I can't speak for any other gyms, but for us, the best thing would be if you're unsure, consult your coach. As easy as that. Be like, okay, fine, what do you want from this? That's always my go-to question. Is like, why are you doing this? Okay, so for some people, it's because I wanted a bit of a challenge. For some people, it's like my coach said. So ultimately, in that situation, for anybody, my first go-to would be like, you need to enjoy yourself doing this, right? So if that means you're going to do 5 reps at something before you have to move to a muscle up, and we know you can't do a muscle up, it's going to put you in a negative frame of mind rather than what we've actually tried to achieve from this whole thing, right? Whereas, and I was going to dig deeper into this, but probably the best quote or line, I can't even remember where I heard it from, is that like, it's important to understand that this whole process is inconsequential. There's no consequences to whatever happens here. All it does is give us an opportunity to, which we never do, is like, this is all your testing on paper in front of you. Yeah. Like we could dig the same results out and see whether people are improving by looking at a big or a broader range of that person's training log. And then we can look at it from a year before that, and we could probably figure out the exact same answers, but it's very rare that we do that in such a fun setting, which is important. So for me, my go-to for that person is going to be like, all right, number one, we need to enjoy this. I need you to come out of this open and go, I want to do next year. And so if that means that we need to scale this right now, perfectly fine. Because next year, let's just say the same workout comes up now, we don't need to scale, there's an improvement before we've even started. Yeah. So within reason, but then again, sometimes there's an opportunity for somebody who's potentially got 5 or 6 double unders in a row, and there's 100 in the workout to achieve something, right? It's not necessarily going to hinder the funness from that workout or take away the funness. You still got to finish that piece and go, yeah, I gave my all, that challenged me, this was my weakness, this is how I get better, but did you have fun? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I'm scaling or not scaling from there. If we can get the desired outcome, then whichever one leads us there, perfectly fine.
Yeah, 100%. And I think there's some really cool tidbits to take out of both of your points. I mean, for me, I think that, like James said, if you're literally a couple of months into CrossFit and you're like, oh, I shouldn't be doing the open, I barely can read the whiteboard, I'm still struggling with names and blah blah. Don't be put off. Honestly, come along, get involved, do a scaled workout. If you're doing base predominantly on the whiteboard, it's a great opportunity for you to get involved and not feel like a CrossFit outcast and kind of just come down and watch, which you can also do if you're still unconfident competing. You can just come down, hang out. We'll all be here. We're nice guys. Yeah. We're worth hanging out with for at least an hour. Sorry.
And on that note, I think it's exactly the same thing. If you're looking at that going, no, I shouldn't be doing the open, you could equally say, well, you shouldn't be turning up and doing class. What's the difference? Apart from the fact that you're going to have maybe 30 or 40 more people cheering you on.
Yeah.
And with somebody there who counts your reps. I mean, you don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you could just turn up and do something.
Yeah, exactly. And whether it just because it's part of your workout or not, there's no stigma, or there's no fear, or not. There shouldn't be anything attached to the fact that we're going to come on a Friday night with a few other people in the class and we're going to do a workout. And then after that, we're going to eat a load of food and we're going to shout at other people.
Yeah.
Like, how much more convincing there is.
You get to eat loads of food and shout at people. That's basically what we do for a living. And I think that I definitely think that scale's a great option for those people that maybe are feeling a bit nervous with some of the movements. And like you say, scale it as appropriately. The workout will get it, and we'll explain this in just a second, how it's going to work and what's going to happen if you've never done an open. You have no idea what the hell we're talking about. But yeah, you'll see the workout get released. Have a look. As Mario said, speak to your coach. What do you think? Do you think I can do this? And we'll be honest with you. We're not going to sugarcoat it and say, yeah, you can do it. And we're not going to try and tear you down likewise. We're going to give you a realistic expectation of what we think you're able to achieve. And we'll also talk to the other coaches as well, because that's the cool thing about this, the way our team works, so we can talk to other coaches and see in certain cases as well. The other thing I think that you should take into consideration, and we talk about this a lot, and Mario just really, really laboured it, is have fun with this. Like, I talk a lot from personal experience because it's just the easiest way for me to get context of things, right? But last year, I was second year, feeling good, started to learn new movements. I had my muscle ups better after the year one and kind of doing that. I was like, right, I'm really gonna, make the most of the open. First workout comes in, and it was the overhead walking lunges, and for the same reason I struggle with handstand push-ups, my overhead position wasn't great, and it destroyed me. And then that ruined, because I did so poorly in it, and I was expecting to mix it up with some of the other people that beat me. Workout 2 suffered because I put too much pressure on me, and it wasn't until week 3 I was like, what are you doing? This is just a bit of fun. You're not going to be mixing it with the top elite guys. You're literally just doing it for a bit of laugh down the gym with your mates. Just have fun with it. Honestly, try not to take it too seriously. It's easy once you kind of you're drinking the Kool-Aid and you're coming every day and you're really enjoying your training and you're feeling good, to put too much pressure on yourself to do well. Even if you do have fun 99% of the time when you're in the gym. I've seen everyone, even the coolest cats, kind of get a bit frustrated in a workout when the double unders fail, or they drop a barbell earlier than they expected to, or their chest to bar pull-up suddenly fade. Just remember, in that moment when you're starting to get stressed at yourself, you're just here for some fun and just try and relax and kind of go back to it. So I definitely think those are some good reasons to do the open, and some good tips in terms of who should be doing what and why you should be doing stuff. Let's talk a bit about the open itself and how it works. Because at this point, people are like, yeah, no, we get why to do it. We've seen the video, we've heard you chat, you told us in class at the whiteboard, we get it, we should do the open. Yeah. How does it work for any newcomers to the open? What's going to happen, James?
Well, at some point between Thursday night and Friday morning,
so
UK
this is
time.
Thursday the 23rd of February, next Thursday.
Yeah. So you'll wake up on Friday morning.
At some point, for at least 3 weeks before that, and that's why I was kind of having a laugh to myself, the whole CrossFit community is going to follow the Dave Castro Instagram page and try and figure out exactly what the workout is based off the cover of a Shakespearean novel that was never published in 1864 and has been dusted off, and now all of a sudden we're doing thrusters because that means we're doing bench press and rope climbs.
Great memory, mate. Great memory. It's been burnt into your brain. Like, and then fucking rap.
Well, and then just so for those of you who don't know, if you can look at the man who puts the workouts together's Instagram page and try and make out what he posts up there.
Yeah, we'll come back to one, him, and two, his Instagram, because there's been some clues already, which we'll talk about. But let's go back to the process, then we'll come back to Dave Castro, because I think it's quite interesting. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon of our sport, and him in particular, like just exactly what happens and why it happens. It doesn't happen in any other sport.
So on Friday morning you'll wake up and CrossFit HQ will have announced a workout that you have from Friday morning until kind of late Monday afternoon UK time to submit and upload a score for on games.crossfit.com.
And how do they announce the workouts?
They will be at a undisclosed location in the United States of America. They'll have 2 of the top games athletes, 2 or 3. There have been up to 6, I think, before. 3 men and 3 women.
Yeah.
And they will announce the workout. The athletes won't know what it is. They'll have 5-10 minutes to warm up and prepare, and they'll go head to head.
Okay.
Then you'll complete the workout at some point between, for Perpetua, if you're looking to get judged and get your score validated, you'll come down to the gym on Friday evenings from, is it 5:30?
5:30 this year.
And so we will take you through a workout specific warm-up. We'll set you guys up into heats. You'll complete the workout to the best of your ability. Scores will be uploaded. You'll go up on the leaderboard. I mean, you can create custom leaderboards with your friends. You can look at the number of people. I remember Sunday nights just sitting on the leaderboard, just watching my score drop further and further down on the Asia leaderboard. It's hilarious.
Hang on, James. What was your best CrossFit finish in the Open? Talk to us about Asia.
Well, I mean, this was a facts-based show.
Yeah.
You said come up with some facts. James McShane
Yes.
was the 171st fittest man in Asia 2013. You can look that up.
We have one of the one of Asia's fittest men among us.
One of Asia's fittest men.
Yeah. But what year was this? Circa
2013.
Whoa. Good year. It was a good year.
Yeah, that was before Australia was included. That's before that was the super region.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd fare so well.
Well, you'll always be 139 fittest in Asia to us, mate. Was it 39? Did I get it right? I just completely butchered that. 71st. I gave you a few places there, didn't I? I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, and we're going back to a Friday Night Lights format here. There's been some discussion. Like anything, people are gonna love some decisions. Some people are gonna dislike some decisions. We had it on a Saturday last year, and actually, we'll be honest with you, from an organisational point of view, Saturdays are a lot easier for us to manage. Me and Mario were here last year to do it, and James has done a number of opens, so kind of knows the deal. But we just all felt Friday Night Lights, we just had more of an energy, more of a buzz. It's more fun, and more people can normally come down to it. So that's why, if you're kind of like, why are we doing it Friday? We did it Saturday last year. I really like Saturday. Not everyone spends their entire weekend at CrossFit Gym. Some people actually want to go do stuff. Certainly one weekend in 5. Whereas Fridays, people tend to be around a bit more. So apologies if it doesn't fit with your schedule. We try our best to cater to everyone, but this will literally give us, we think, the best event possible. And we're trying to do a few new things with the Open as well. I'll talk about kind of one thing that I've been working on with a video series, and yeah, we've got some other stuff. I know Alexa's been working really hard with the fuel bars to kind of come up with some new vendors to come down. So we're really trying to build on it. And if you've got any good ideas about the Open for next year, start planting the seed with us now. Like, especially if this is your first Open, you kind of do it. You're like, it'd be great if we did this. Bring it to us. We'll definitely try and make it happen. We're always looking for new ideas. It's just, we kind of want to make this a great event for you as much as ourselves, because we really enjoy doing the Open. Like, I think you've got a glimpse into the fact that we've all got something out of it, and that's why we generally want to try and put back into it, because we really enjoy it. Yeah, so they're going to announce the workouts, as you say, video. I can tell you the first one. They've posted the first 3 in terms of who's going to be doing it. So the first one, we get the 2...
I think they were workouts. I was like, when?
No, in terms of who's going to do them and where they're going to do it. So the first one, we have the 2 fittest men in Canada, Brent Bukowski and Patrick Vellner, are going to be doing it in Montreal, Quebec, believe it or not. So they'll be doing the first one, 17.1, which is on, as it said, 23rd at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to tune in for that one, they've announced the first 3. I won't go through all of them just because you can have a look on Instagram. They're all on there. But yeah, so the first one will be pretty interesting to see. Battle of the Canadians, who both surprised a lot of people at the games last year. So it'll be probably quite a cool one to watch. They'll announce it, then we'll talk about it. We'll kind of post some stuff on social media, talk about what we're going to do, put it on the Perpetual Nation page. What we're going to try and do, Mary, you can kind of talk us through the logistics a bit on the day, is we're going to try and have like a briefing area and a warm-up area, and then kind of have the competition floor area. So talk us through thoughts on that.
The proceedings for the evening will be exactly that, to be honest. We'll start off with similar to how a class would run. The logistics are hard to kind of give exact details, as you guys know, just for those of you who don't know, because of the fact that we don't know what it could be. It could be an 8-minute workout, it could be a 20-minute workout, so obviously the timings of that vary, but we'll start off with going through at the board, as we normally do before a class, going through what the workout is, going through all the various options, so what the scaled option is and what the RX option is, and from there lead them into a workout specific warm-up, where we'll then obviously make sure everybody's following timings, getting specifically warm for that workout, just because of what we find is that if we leave it to somebody's own sort of doing, they don't necessarily get the best out of what's going to prepare them for that workout, which can hinder the result that they get, and so on and so forth. So we'll then run them through similar to a class structure, where we do that warm-up, we do some specific movements geared towards that, and then we will go obviously onto the competition floor, not really that word, but the dance floor. We'll then switch it up to the dance floor, turn some music on, and everybody will have a judge. that judge will be responsible for counting reps and ultimately just making sure movement standards are equal and on points. And then from there you get a score and head over and get some food and chill out and support the rest of the people. So logistically, we'll run pretty smoothly. We'll have heat times going. People put down their names. Obviously, some people come later, some people come earlier, and we'll run everybody through that process. So just depending on the time, we'll run a board leg piece and then a warm up specific piece, and then just flip them off onto the other side and go from there.
Cool.
Go into the workout.
Yeah, sounds good. And we'll be around. We're going to try and judge as much as we can as well, because I know it's a bit nerve-wracking kind of judging if you've not done it before, especially when someone's kind of like got the eye of the tiger and is looking to PB a workout. You're kind of like, no rep. I think that's a no rep. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to let them have it. So we'll try and do as much judging.
Not
as
me, mate. I'm not letting anyone have anything.
Everyone's going to be like, is anyone free to judge? Mario's free. No, anyone else?
Man, I can see a no rep from next door through the wall, man.
Smell from around the corner, can't you, mate? Some people smell coffee. Mario smells no reps. Yeah, cool. So, as we've all mentioned, that we've done some fact finding. We've been looking at the Open as kind of as a long piece. Mario kind of looked at the numbers in terms of how many people, because the Opens and CrossFit is a really cool sport in the fact that, like, the way I likened it was like golf. Golf's a good track, like kind of mirrored sport, because it's purely individual. You're kind of not playing against someone, as in I have to hit the ball to them and they have to hit it back or something like that. It's like going and playing a round of golf on the same golf course with every pro in the world and being able to have a look at your score versus them. Sorry, we have a car alarm going off. Apologies if that's picking up. It's picking up on the microphone, so apologies for that in the background. We are in a working CrossFit gym, which happens to be next to a busy street, so apologies for that. But yeah, it's unlike any other sport in the fact that you can just throw down against the elite of the elite and score yourself against anyone else in the world that does it, which is awesome. And it's just grown in popularity. Like the games, if you don't know, this has been going on for about 10 years. Well, actually 11 years this year. And
oh no, 10th year, 2007. No, 2017.
The first games though was officially that one.
That's why they moved it back to the ranch last year.
Yeah.
Oh, was that 10?
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, you're right in terms of having like a similar format to we have now. Okay. This is the 10th year in terms of like the way they do regionals or having a pre-competition to the actual main show. I believe. So yeah, the Open's just grown year on year as more people get into CrossFit and CrossFit gyms get bigger across the world and more people hear about CrossFit and kind of get involved. The numbers have grown, and you kind of did some digging in terms of the numbers, right? Yeah.
So I had a look at the last 5 years or so. Just there's 1 year which was 2015, which I'm not sure of on the numbers, but I'll read through the numbers. And actually, the reason why, and we were talking percentages or however you want to phrase that, but we were talking about the actual volume of people, and this ties into whether you should do it or not, really, because having a look at the volume of people who enter the Open versus the amount of people who make it or potentially could have made it to the final stages, you'll realize actually how big the gap is and actually what this whole Open thing's for. Yeah. And you'll realize that actually for 98% of the population, this whole thing is actually for health and fitness for everybody else. Yeah. Although the end goal is to find the fittest person in the world, that's only a very small percentage of people who are doing it. So for example, we can read through them and it gets bigger and bigger. So 2011 was 26,000 people who signed up for the Open. The next year 2012 was 69,000. In 2013 it grew, there was 138,000. Then 13? So 14 was 209,000. And then 2015, I might be wrong, but I think it was about 282,000 people. 62, man. And that was just off the top of my head, man.
It's not bad. You're normally pretty good with the old stats, Mazza. You're normally pretty good with the old stats.
And then
trust old McShane to come in there and correct you though on camera.
If we went together in this, none of this would be possible. And then last year, 324.
That's massive.
Yeah.
That's almost 300,000 people additional from the first year to the most recent year, which
in
is
5 years.
bonkers.
Yeah. And then we look at, and then we break it down. Do you have the percentages of that? So like we break it down to which, we spoke a little bit more about it earlier, myself and James, because we were talking about the numbers. The numbers can be skewed a little bit purely because there's only 40 people in terms of in that category. There's a bit more that go to the games. Don't quote me on these numbers, but there's so many different categories, and there's like 20 or 10 in each subcategory, and then there's 40 in the main.
Yeah.
And so let's just say 100 of each, 100 males, 100 females, going to the games, which is 200 out of 324,000.
Yeah.
But then you can obviously trace that back a step, and you can have a look at the regionals, which was a step before that. And you can argue about the people, because I always tell people this as well, that in professional CrossFit at elite level, there's also massive divides. Like the level to go from just being an average or a good CrossFitter in the gym to actually making it to regionals is massive. The difference between those two people is a lot. A lot. People don't understand that. It's not just like, oh, I have a chance. There's only a select few people who can, maybe 50 or 60, who have a legitimate chance or maybe that number can be pushed a little bit for Europe because it's slightly bigger, but a legitimate chance of going to regionals. And then from there, out of those 40 or 30 from Europe and 10 from Africa, which would make us the Meridian regionals, there's only about 10 people who actually have a chance of that 1 in 5 spot in order to go to the games. And that gap between those 5 people who qualify and the other 35 in the field is massive then again.
Yeah, well, even at the games, like I was there last year watching like the top 3 males and females versus the bottom 3.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's massive. Like, no disrespect, anyone that goes there is 100%. A phenomenal athlete. Like, you know, they come in here, they win multiple workouts. Like, but just the difference between Matt Theresa, Katrin David's daughter, and the 50th person in that field is enormous. It's frightening. As overall fitness, again, you got someone like Sam Dancing, for instance, who I think came, you know, he wasn't at the bottom, but he certainly wasn't at the top of the pack. But that deadlift workout, he absolutely smashed it apart. No one was getting close to him, but you know, all round fitness, Matt Fraser just tore it apart last year, and you're going to see that throughout. It's quite scary when you see someone dominate on top of the top, like the elite of the elite. It's like just phenomenal fitness. So
and so then, like I say, when we look at that perspective and we break it down like that, which is maybe I'm not going to, it might ruin people's dreams or whatever it may be, but ultimately when we look at that, what the comfort that I find in that, being a coach of a load of people in this gym and myself as well, is that, like, to be honest, if we realize that 99% of the people doing this stuff are doing the open or doing it for fun, it's like, if that's not as much of a motivator for anyone else to do it, it's like you're missing the point. This is not, yes, the goal is to find those people, that's the end goal, but the open is actually just a step before that, or 2 steps before that, where it's just, this is for the people. This is for you guys. This is not for that process. It just happens to aid to that process, but this is for you guys. Otherwise, what would be the point? Like, why would, if there was no other point to this and it wasn't fun and it was inconsequential, we wouldn't be entering. You know what I mean? Because realistically, like, are we going to go to regionals? Like, you know?
There's a few people at this gym that have a shout at that, and certainly with the new category coming in with 35 to 39, I know there's one particular individual who's quite excited about the Open this year. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like, even doing friendly competitions I've shied away from at times, just because it's about having fun doing fitness. Sometimes competitions are like that, but if it gets too serious, for me it takes away why I really do this. You know, there's and I completely agree with that. James
going to ring the numbers.
So just to give people an idea, in 2000, it was funny when you said I don't have numbers for 2015. That's the only year that I do have numbers for, which is why Dream team. Straight away. So in 2015, 0.2% of men competing in the Open went to regionals. That's not even before that's thinned out to the games, and 0.3% of women.
And that's people who actually signed up to the Open as well. That's not even like the entire CrossFit community. There's a lot of people that I know that have never done an Open. Just come here because they like to get a sweat on.
Those are the people that signed up. Of the males, the average at regionals level was a 2:23 Fran time, which is 21:15.9 thrusters and pull-ups.
That's pretty solid score there.
Helen, so 3 rounds, 400 meter run, 21 kettlebell swings, 12 pull-ups, 7:41, and their average grace time, 30 clean and jerks at 61 kilos, is 1 minute and 44 seconds. They're 400 meters.
The average, that's not the best. That is the average.
That's the average, you know. And their 400 meter track, all out 400, is 1 minute and 6 seconds.
Wow.
Which is absolutely outrageous. Max set of unbroken kipping pull-ups, 57 on average.
It's crazy. I mean, and this is what, 2 years ago, sorry.
Yeah.
2 years ago, this is what you needed. Now, I mean, I don't even want to know what the numbers have gone to, because we've seen, you look at, you know, obviously we can't, me and Mary can have this debate for a long time about current fittest man and last year's fittest man on earth versus obviously Froning, but like you take the top guys from 2015, we know that their fitness now is better, is improved, okay? We know that they all got fitter. You can just look at what they put through, you look at open scores, you look at repeat scores, they're smashing workouts now that they used to have. So we know that these numbers have improved. So if you're thinking, but I bet they haven't got much quicker, they have. They're ridiculous now, even more so.
Just to give women an idea of what they would need to get to regionals, a 2:57 Fran, 8:39 Helen, 2:02 Grace, and a 1:09 400 meter. The average unbroken set of kipping pull-ups was 42. All of the numbers in terms of the lifts are in pounds.
Okay.
Maths on the fly, but the average snatch for a male was 256 pounds. The average clean and jerk was 318. Average back squat was 431, and the average deadlift was 499.
If you're sat near a computer or a phone and you have access to Google, just type in a little converter and do that for you. But they're pretty beastly scores. Yeah,
for the females, the snatch was 161 pounds, clean and jerk 203, back squat 272, deadlift 321. So yeah, those are.
I can beat the women at deadlift. Is that good? That's okay?
Yeah. Even then, that's outrageous.
Yeah, we're talking about some pretty fit people, and this isn't to discourage anyone to kind of say like, you ain't getting there, don't bother. This is just to say, be realistic with your training goals and be realistic what you want on the Open. Like, this is all about giving you an understanding of how elite the elite are, and how much the cool thing of being able to just be on the same leaderboard as these people and kind of test yourself.
I think more often than not, the people that have unrealistic expectations are really good at a thing, right? Like you might have a 500-pound deadlift. What is that, like 270, 280?
It's a bit less than that, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just because it's something I've been working towards. Yeah, it's 227.
Okay, so 227
kilos.
You might have a 227 deadlift.
Yeah.
Do you have a 227 kilo deadlift and
a 227 frame?
Yeah, like a 227 exactly. Like, can you run around a track in 1 minute and fucking 4 seconds or whatever it was?
No, James, I can't.
Yeah, like that's the difference. It's that work capacity across all of those things. Like, being good at one of those things might make you think, oh yeah, I was good as a games athlete.
But yeah, and
so you're trying to say I'm not going to regionals?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm.
Or maybe you could.
That is what I'm saying. That's not to say that you're not a good athlete.
That's okay. I know what you're saying. Don't have to sugarcoat it now.
Yeah. So I think ultimately what we take away from all of those daunting numbers is the fact that that's 1% of people who do the open, and we're the 99%. So we should be doing the open.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's made
100% of your 99%.
Yeah.
All the percent.
Yeah, it's made.
I fully agree.
It's made for us.
Yeah, definitely. And
it really is.
It's just fun with your mates. Like it's like I used to BMX. I still snowboard. Like I'm not going to the X Games, people. I'm not. When I go down a mountain, I'm not pulling a 1080 like cork backside 1080 cork or anything like that. I'm literally just hanging out with my friends, going for a beer, snowboarding down a mountain because it's fun.
But I think it's that shared experience as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can't imagine being as good as Dave Mirra.
Yeah.
Right? You can't imagine it, those like high skill. If I started playing tennis now, I can't imagine being as good as somebody like Roger Federer. When I get to the end of an open workout that I'm capable of, like let's say thrusters and burpees over the bar, at the end of that workout, my time might not be as good as somebody like Froning or Fraser, but I have had the exact same experience over that 8 or 12 or 20 minutes or whatever it is. I feel exactly the same as they do at the end of that workout.
Rubbish.
Yeah, like really, really bad.
Happy but rubbish.
Yeah. But you can't imagine being like an Olympian. You can't imagine being that skillful or that, you know.
Yeah, you don't get the opportunity to go to the Olympics.
Exactly.
You do get an opportunity to do the CrossFit Open.
You do get some feeling of what it's like to be as good as those guys.
Yeah, definitely. And you're not, I mean, like, we can throw the kind of sporting analogies. You're not going to score, drop goal in a Rugby World Cup. You're not going to score a penalty in the Football World Cup. You're not going to do these things, but you are going to be able to do these workouts after watching the really fit guys and girls. And there's so much social media. Like, we're privileged with CrossFit to have like quite a good social community as well. You get loads of Instagram. And the other thing that I was saying, and there's two lads in the gym, two Mario's members that are going to be really good fun to watch through this as well, is find a friend and have a bit of a friendly competition with them. Not like, don't take it to a crazy level, but have some friendly banter. And we've got Ollie and Tristan, who, one thing I've been working on is actually, we're going to be doing a video spotlight series on 4 athletes. One of them, Susanna. We've got the two lads who we're going to be documenting their rivalry, Tristan and Ollie.
As if there wasn't enough pressure on them already.
I know.
They're in it for a bit of fun. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm still lobbying that we should get t-shirts made. Yeah. So if anyone wants to do that, any of the members like have a good line into
Team Tristan and Team Ollie.
100%, yeah.
Oh.
With hashtags and the whole thing, like hashtag Team Ollie, hashtag Team Tristan. I'm putting it out there, so if any of you know how to do this, if any of you got a line into making t-shirts or anything like that, let's get this done. That's amazing. We'll just donate, like we'll all spend a $5 or whatever we need to do to get these t-shirts made up, and I think it'd be a good laugh. And then we've got Daniel McCarroll from the comp team. We're going to follow him as well because it's kind of his first open, I believe. Sorry, Daniel, if you've done it before.
Second.
Second.
Yeah, I think he did one last year.
Okay, cool. But he's just leaps and bounds every time I work out with a guy. He's got better, so he's going to be really exciting to watch in the open as well. Just watch him throw down. It's going to be fun. So we're going to document all of that and put out a video series. So there should be a video every week about those guys. So look out for that. I think that's going to be good fun. But yeah, like Tristan and Ollie are going to be great examples to everyone of just how to have a bit of friendly banter with your mate during the open.
Both first open, so
yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
And they've been smashing it in class recently. And like, how long? They're both about 6 months, 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've just been. I mean, like I know Ollie's been like, I think Tristan like beat me. So come on, Ollie, we need. I want to see some top level banter from you about this. But Tristan has been flying in class. So he's one to watch out for as well from someone who's doing their first open. Good example.
That, like during the open as well, I find personally, and I'm sure a lot of people are the same, I find that by the end of the 5 weeks, I'm never as healthy over the course of the year as I am at the end of the open, because it informs all of my other decisions. Like it informs my diet, for example.
Yeah.
Like at other times of the year, it doesn't really matter if you're a little bit heavier because, it's inconsequential. If I'm carrying an extra couple of kilos, that makes a massive difference to how muscle ups feel for me. So I'm going to have a slightly cleaner diet because I know that it's actually going to matter.
Yeah, for sure.
Over those 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll get more sleep. You'll
be sober.
How about that?
Don't push it too far, Gilesy. Yeah. I mean, come on, I can't quit everything.
Champagne Sunday. Champagne's anabolic. They don't tell you that at sports science school. They're trying to keep it a secret because they can't. It doesn't show up on drug tests.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Try it.
Yeah. Get a bit of champagne on Sunday for active recovery day. Yeah. Champagne at brunch.
Yeah. Social fitness.
Yeah. Well, we know a lot about that, hey mate. Your Lululemon photo shoots. We have a celebrity among us.
I mean,
if you head over to Lululemon UK, you'll see this fine bearded gentleman on the homepage.
Yeah.
That's work.
At Lululemon UK on Instagram.
There you go. Bit of a plug for Lulu there. We have a few members of the gym that work for the company. So big up to Lululemon. We always enjoy. Well, our kit is Lululemon as well, so we always enjoy wearing your stuff and training your peeps. Getting photographed by you apparently as well now.
I mean, I'm glad you moved the mic this time. I appreciate it.
So the fans can see you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm serious. There were complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just from my
immediate family.
Just his mother. You have such a pretty face, James. So you need to show it off more. Unconditional.
Amazing. So we've talked quite a lot about reasons to do the Open, what's going to happen during the Open. I kind of think that to finish it off, we should probably talk about what we're trying to get out of it for ourselves, like why we're doing the Open. Like we've obviously mentioned it a bit, just to have fun, throw it out with our friends, that kind of stuff. But is there anything in particular you guys are like, this is why I'm doing the Open this year?
Bar muscle ups.
Bar muscle ups.
Yeah, because I fucked it last year. I never thought, I was like, nah, they won't come up in the Open. I have ring muscle ups, so I'm just going to keep working ring. I basically did everything that I tell members not to do.
Yeah.
I hated them because I was terrible at them.
So you avoided them?
And then I avoided them because, there's people around and they'll see that I'm bad at bar muscle ups. Well, guess what? If you're bad at something and you don't do it, you don't get any better at it.
Overhead walking lunges from your team.
Right. Just a little bit of good coaching, mate.
Just a couple of little cues. Cues from the brew. That's my goal for this year, is a bit of bar muscle up retribution, but also just edit that bit out. I didn't have anything there.
No, we're living in. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. We can't Photoshop everything out.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my people.
James McShane's PR team are going to be furious. Mazza, what about you, mate?
To be honest, just to do it, like for me, it's more about this year, especially. It's just more about the experience of being able to do it with my members. Obviously, push myself for sure. It's something that I'd say my training doesn't very often go to that place.
Yeah.
That's just me personally, but so the Open gives me that opportunity to really kind of test how deep I can go. So give it my all, but ultimately, like I said, for us, for me, it's the same thing. I speak from experience, like you say, because that's the easiest thing to kind of put out there. But I signed up just because, without even needing a reason. I was like, this is something I do. This is something I always enjoy. This is something I always learn from. And so whether it highlights whether I'm not at the right place I was last year or whatever, or I still improve, even without, like I say, it's just going to lay it out for me. It's going to show me exactly where I'm at, and just to enjoy the Friday night lights, enjoy people being around, doing a workout, pushing it and taking it from there. I'd do it this year for everyone, really, just for the fans. Do it for the fans.
If you're a fan of Mario, you know what to do. I'm the same as you, mate. Like last year, I was kind of coaching part time in the Open. I was kind of, I was apprenticing under Aussie. I was still kind of green, so I didn't really have any members. Yeah. So this year it's going to be cool, kind of actually being a coach and having members go through it and kind of working with them on that kind of stuff. So yeah, it'll be fun for me to work with people through the open and it not just be about kind of how my open's going, which it has been traditionally. And training's feeling pretty good actually at the moment. I feel like I do every year, like I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. I think that happens year on year. Most people will probably have a similar thing unless you've had an injury or a setback or something. Then you
continually improving. You're doing something.
Yeah. So training's feeling good. I'm just kind of looking forward to actually having a workout come out, and it's just fun. It's just like such a cool time to be a CrossFit. It's like my favourite time of year to be a CrossFit because like the community goes bonkers for it. It's like you get the update shows, you get everyone, like it's just fun. People get their first thing, Instagram. It's just a fun time to kind of be around. So
what one do you want repeated?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I don't. Although I'm better at them, I still don't want to do overhead walking lunges. I hate them so much. Like I'm better at them, but I still struggle for me. So in a way, it'd probably be good if that came out, so I could actually test that. But at the same time, I'd quite like to do the handstand push-up workout again. We did it the other day, and I definitely did a much better score. So I'd be keen to do that one again. On a kind of competition style floor. What about you guys?
Well, I don't know. I know which ones I probably wouldn't like to do, which is actually a repeat of the previous, which was the thrusters and the burpees.
Yeah.
It's just hated that.
It's a disgusting workout. I mean, I quite, in a weird way, I don't mind it because it's like everyone can do the thing, and most of the time you can go pretty fast and you probably beat your time. But it's one of those typical workouts where, like you say, everyone comes off that workout feeling exactly the same, and it's terrible.
The difference between doing okay and doing well in that workout is just your willingness to suffer.
Yeah.
That's it. You've got to go to a pretty dark place to do well in that workout.
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a repeat from the year before. Maybe the clean and jerk one. I actually think potentially cool. the one with the clean and jerk at the end. So that had toes to bar, deadlifts, and toes to bar, deadlifts, and power snatch.
Oh yeah.
And for 10 minutes or something. Yeah. And then it had the 5 minutes or whatever clean and jerk. But I think, part of me thinks that it's going to be a few years ago, 2013 snatch ladder.
Okay.
Squat snatch ladder and burpees.
Yeah, I think the snatch bar muscle up workout, simply because the number of people that didn't have bar muscle ups, it'll be good for their social media to say.
Yeah, definitely.
This number of people posted a zero.
I'd quite like to do that one. I just kind of nailed my bar muscle ups at the time, so I got an alright score, but they've kind of improved a lot. I'd actually really like to do the one I talked about, where my first open, where the ring muscle up, 7 ring muscle up. That's it. Wall balls and double unders. Yeah, I'd like to redo that because I think that'd be a ridiculous improvement in score for me, just personally, as a selfish reason. It'd be pretty fun to have another crack at that. But again, this exact discussion is kind of one of the cool things about the Open. Oh, which one did you do? Yeah, which workouts do you like? Like blah blah. Like it's a nice. And then when you beat a score, it's like, oh my god, it's one of the. If you're 2 or 3 years into CrossFit and you're not doing the Open because you're kind of like, I've done it before, blah blah, you're going to miss out on something like this. You're going to miss out on beating a score and having that improvement, being able to like measure your fitness, and also just we all get a warm fuzzy feeling when we do better in life. Be it something small, like I don't know, making someone happy to like on a daily basis or whatever, or beating scores or whatever it is. I'm kind of pulling things out of my butt now, but we all feel good about ourselves when we do better in life, and it's quite an easy way to be like, I definitely did better than last year or the year before or 3 years ago, whatever.
That first year that I was back, I wasn't in London for the first workout, and there was nowhere that I could do it, so I missed out on the sign up, and for those 4 weeks afterwards I was hanging around doing the workouts, etc., but I just didn't have any motivation to push it because I hadn't
going through the motions.
So you weren't. It's not the same. If you feel like, I'm going to come by and do the workouts, but I'm not going to enter, you're missing out on a significant extrinsic motivation to really push yourself and do well. Because I've experienced being around people that are fully invested in it. It's not the same.
Yeah, don't have FOMO. Sign up for the Open.
Exactly. That's exactly.
we kind of like graze over one thing when he's come out to, and that's at the Dave Castro. For two reasons. Firstly, because it will give us an indication of what one of the workouts might be. We'll talk about it in a second.
It won't.
Yeah.
It will be he will post indecipherable clues.
Yeah. Everybody's just gone out and bought dumbbells. Fuck all. he had a partnership with Rogue, and he said, they were like, we haven't hit our target yet, and we've got 1 month to do so. And he was like, I want to see this. Get dumbbells at 22.5. Well, what do you think they're going to lack in the gym? Yeah, 22.5. Right, cool. We'll get those in. Oh, have you seen these dumbbells? They're fully adjustable. Get them. Never mind the fact that you have to buy the plates for them as well.
So what Mario's talking about is 2 weeks ago, Dave at the Dave Castro. Hi, Dave. If you somehow stumbled across this, one, amazing. Two, well, of course, yeah, we'll hit him up, but you know, he probably won't watch it. Yeah. If he does,
if he does, we've made it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get some surreptitious post. Dave, if you're watching, hi. Dave at the Dave Castro. Feel free to tweet him or comment on this Instagram and tag him in it. He posted a picture of some dumbbells, some 22.5 and some 15 kilo dumbbells with in chalk on a slate floor written "You have been warned," and then a smiley face, which is nice. Which everyone alluded to, as Mario said. Everyone came to the same conclusion that there's going to be a dumbbell workout in the open, which there has never been. Am I right in saying there's never been a dumbbell workout in the open, right? And they tend to do a first, like bar muscle ups last year. There was ring muscle ups like the year before.
Handstand push-ups.
Handstand push-ups. We're talking about triple unders potentially. Rowing.
Yeah, rowing was a couple of years before.
Yeah, so they tend to do a first thing, and we're talking about triple unders and some other things that have kind of been on the periphery for a little while, but something dumbbell related is probably quite likely actually. Just because
they've said that they are in CrossFit Games has posted.
Yeah,
you will need them.
Yeah.
And there will be a dumbbell.
Yeah,
and then same day, CrossFit.com, CrossFit YouTube posted a overhead dumbbell lunge video.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've done that with 22.5 kilo dumbbells. That is not the same as doing a 45 kilo barbell overhead walking lunge at all.
Yeah, the stability is completely different.
Seriously.
We did them the other week in our training, and melted me. I couldn't even 22.5. I was struggling with 10s.
Yeah, I'd be extremely surprised if that was the piece.
Yeah.
This is one that I think obviously is going to come up because of the fact that they've gone out and said everybody buy it. Some of his other clues, which we spoke about earlier, they've been a little bit. I mean, we've seen a handgun or a pistol about 500 times, and we've never seen a pistol in the open. So, but with his clues. But anyway, and
some of them can be quite vague as well. Some of them can be very
wasn't
vague.
one of them like a fire hydrant or something?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't done any fire hydrants, whatever that is.
Yeah, he posted a video of himself swimming. And
holding his breath or something.
When asked in the show afterwards, saying, what did that swimming clue mean? He was like, because, swimming gets you really out of breath. You've got to hold your breath, and so you'll be breathless, like this workout. So it could literally have been any workout.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't read too much into it.
But they generally tend to be quite good fun, just to kind of it's good talking point.
So what is interesting is the movement standards that they often introduce as well. So what I'd be interested in is, things like handstand push-ups. If you are the type of person that tends to go really wide in your handstand push-ups, the movement standard of measuring your max reach and then going from there, that wide grip or that wide hand placement isn't going to cut it. In the same way that
it caught me out.
If a pistol comes up and you have to have your heel on the ground, for example, that's going to catch a few people out.
Yeah,
and so it's what it does do is it sets a very rigorous movement standard that you then know, okay, well, that's what I have to meet, and it gives you something to work towards.
Yeah, true.
Bar muscle ups last year, like you were saying before, reasons to enter. It will give you a focus for your training for the next year.
Yeah, definitely.
There will be things that you're not good at that you can improve. Like, just look at it as an opportunity to identify your weaknesses and get on them.
100%. So, we talked a bit about the Dave Castro and his dumbbell post. What movement do you think it's going to be? If let's have a little prediction.
I'm personally either thrusters or snatch, dumbbell snatch.
Okay.
I think doing a dumbbell squat snatch, I feel is probably a step too far for a lot of people, and they're equally being the overhead lunges kind of being a step too far for a lot of people. So it would be harsh, I think, if they put. I wouldn't be surprised, but it would be harsh if they put any of those two. It would be just.
James,
I think snatches are the most likely, just in terms of judging standards.
Yeah.
.com has posted single arm overhead walking lunges, which again I've tried out, and it's a lot less difficult.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more manageable at that weight. I wouldn't be surprised if that was in it. Again, just to kind of highlight, they've been posting a lot about how, dumbbells are much better in terms of training stability of the shoulder and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if single arm overhead walking lunges were in it, but I'd say snatches are the most likely.
Yeah. I'm going to go off piste. I reckon dumbbell clusters or man makers.
Man makers?
Yeah.
What would the judging standard be for your man maker?
Well, the rows should be fairly easy on the standards. Single arm right, chest to the floor, and then it's just about squat clean or squat cluster basically.
I think the row is quite hard.
Yeah, the row.
It's going to be hard because what's the range of motion on that? What's that versus that? Does it touch your shoulder? Doesn't it? I think it'll be hard.
Yeah, true.
It could be burpee box overs with the weights. We've seen that at an invitational.
Yeah.
That's for mortals. At that weight, stepping down off of a box with that kind of weight.
It's pretty gnarly.
Well, it's pretty knee injury causing.
Yeah.
More to the point.
Yeah, very true. So there's some insight. We're going to get a load of open gym requests. Can I come in and practice single arm overhead lunge work with a dumbbell, please? Yeah, exactly. What I would recommend if you're listening to this and you're starting to panic that you haven't done any dumbbell work, we haven't put stuff in the programming. So just have a look at Train Heroic. Make sure you turn up to the days where there's dumbbell work. Like we've done a lot of dumbbell snatch work recently. So just come and experience that. You'll get a lot out of it just from a stability point of view, and also work.
Guys are like suckers.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready.
Yeah, exactly. And work on a lot of shoulder stability stuff. You don't necessarily need to get a dumbbell and start pacing up and down the gym with it over your head. Actually, just doing some IYTs and working on some of that shoulder stability stuff will really aid you in the open much more than trying to do the movement badly with a weight. So just a bit of advice from me would be, don't start stressing about, oh crap, there might be some new movements that I haven't had a load of exposure to. It'll be the same for all of us.
Yeah. But
just work on that fundamental mobility, stability, and strengthening piece, which you can do anyway, even at home. IYTs don't need any space, really. So you can work on that in your own time. Don't panic about needing to go and run out and buy a set of dumbbells. But if you do, please bring them into the gym, just because we could do a few more. If you've got any 22.5 and 15 kilo dumbbells at home, yeah, chuck them our way. We could probably use them. Lads, we've talked for just over an hour. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Hopefully the gang out there have got a bit more insight and a bit more gusto.
What about your regular questions? Your end of podcast questions?
My end of podcast questions. Well,
we're seasoned vets. We know what to expect here.
we did them last time.
Yeah.
I thought we'd just use all the time for the open.
Yeah. Well, you could do that. Well, yeah. I mean, it's your podcast for now.
For now.
Next time you'll be arguing.
Well, yeah.
I like this one. Let me put a question up there.
Sure.
Purely because
he's already taken.
Just because I know what your answer is, Gilesy. And I know.
So then it's not really a question, it's a tee
Yeah,
up.
no. Yeah, but I just wanted to kind of see where James sits on the fence. So,
okay.
So top male, top female CrossFit athletes, doesn't need to be winner, loser, can be just favorite.
My favourite.
Yeah, top male, top female in the world.
Mine's been fairly vocal and documented on this actually, but Matt Fraser, I'm just a big fan of his. I think he's a cool lad. Like goes out there and smashes attack workouts. Like I quite like that energy. And then Sarah Sigman's daughter, kind of the same reason really. I just watch I like watching people with intensity and energy kind of go out there and attack workouts, and just because it appeals to kind of how I train. Try and do the same thing where I can, and most of the time end up eating dirt. But I quite like that aspect of training, so they'd be in my top two.
My top female, like of all time, would be Julie Fouché. She's always represented consistency and just a broad range of ability. Like she moves really, really well. Movement quality is always of the highest standard. And she's always podiumed. Like there have been other people above and below her, but she's always been consistent in her like second and third. Like she never quite reached the top of the podium. Having spoken to Chris Hinshaw when he was at the Reebok store in Covent Garden, he was convinced that if she hadn't blown her Achilles, that she would have won that year. Like her work capacity was through the roof, and she was always right there. Like she was as strong as she ever was.
Yeah, that was pretty tough to watch as well, just because you knew she was retiring. Like, she'd been very vocal about that.
And so yeah, she's always, but also that she's studying medicine. She's going to be a doctor. She's just she's a great role model. In terms of the males, it's difficult for me. It's a toss-up between Chris Spieler and Matt Chan. Again,
Old
school. They're going to be 35 to 39 category now. They're back.
Yeah,
I like the Spieler. He's a good lad.
Yeah, and he also represents like never say die attitude. He's a much smaller athlete compared to the rest of the field, but he always gave it everything. Always made it like to regionals and then to the games, like never let anything hold him back. But also they both just got a great attitude of they just get better and better year on year, and they're happy to just be continually progressing. The fact that they're continually progressing to the games is one thing, but they don't really excel in any one thing. They just push up their entire work capacity across everything a little bit every year.
Yeah,
and that's what, for me, that's key.
I thought you'd be a Lucas Parker fan, like, beard brothers stick together and all that stuff.
You didn't ask me who my CrossFit spirit animal is. That's different.
The polar bear and Lucas Parker. What about you, Maz? Actually, no, we haven't got time for Mario's.
Well, to be honest, at least this is probably the first time myself and Gilesy have ever agreed upon anything, and that would be Sarah, for sure. This is my favourite female, and then there is only one Rick Froning.
There is.
So yeah, those would be mine. More because of just he's done some amazing shit, but I just like his approach to and method. I think for me, his method was far ahead of anyone at that time as well, which now everybody's realized, shit, if we want to be that good, we've got to be efficient, we've got to move well, we've got to know how to pace, we've got to...
Sure. He changed the game.
He
came into the CrossFit scene and like almost won his first year, like only just because he went a bit reckless on that final workout and then everyone went, he needs to practice those rope climbs. He's like, it was nothing to do with rope climbs, you idiot. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I give Mario a hard time just because he's a big fan of Rich's, and obviously I'm a big fan of Matt's, and there's the whole who's fitter debate. But he's like, without him, like CrossFit wouldn't, from a competitive standpoint, wouldn't be really where it is. I mean, like the dominance that guy displays, just going to team competition and winning it 2 years in a row or something. It's like just ridiculous, the aura he has around the CrossFit game. So yeah, some mad props to that guy. I think everyone we've mentioned just incredible athletes and kind of do some really cool things, entertain people, like, especially Spieler as well, like just Herculean efforts in CrossFit Games. He's just got a ton of them in his back catalogue. Like you watch this year, if you watch any of the update shows, and he's doing the 35 to 39 year old, guarantee they'll start rolling out the B-roll tape of him just kind of like doing snatches you never thought he'd be able to do, and kind of winning, like, competing in events and podiuming and all this kind of stuff. That just a hero really. So yeah, some cool athletes involved. lastly, just to finish off, we have about, I think, 45 people signed up for the Open at the moment. There's nearly 300 people in this gym. So there is a ton of more spaces for us to kind of get people in Friday Night Lights. And if you're listening to the podcast and you're sat on the fence, just sign up. You do pay $20, which is, I think, probably, unfortunately, closer to £20 than we'd like it to be these days with the exchange rate. Yeah, $20.
I'm pretty sure my first tip was like 5.
Don't say that.
No, it's always been, I think, since I've entered, it's always been 20.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the Asian market.
I mean, it's like I say, it's not even a round of drinks on a Friday night.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
here we now are saving you 5 Friday nights. So
Yeah. Also,
£500 versus
also,
$20.
Yeah, I mean, you probably spent the same amount on stance socks, so
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, yeah.
I quite like a pair of stance socks, man. There's nothing wrong with a bit of comfort.
I mean,
when you're
I'm not endorsed by these guys, but you buy a pair of Reebok shoes, you get free entry.
Yeah, which is
up till now as well.
I think so.
yeah, up until the Open. I think it was a week of the Open.
Custom.
Yeah, but I mean, you can. Yeah, I think so. But
Yeah, Mario's a fan of a few things, and
you
Reebok
use
is
code
also,
Mario then.
Yeah. We should all mention our food sponsors as well. But seriously, all seriously, if you listen to this and you haven't signed up, just sign up. Just get it done. Like it'll be the thing about the Friday Night Lights and the Open is it's so much more fun when everyone's involved.
Have you signed up?
I have actually. Yeah, I signed up today.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Show me the fucking email.
Just before the podcast, it's like, I'm going to save myself.
Exactly. I'm on flight mode to show you afterwards.
So full of shit.
Have you signed up?
No, but I'm honest about it. I'm gonna do it. I'm definitely doing it. But I wouldn't lie about having done it. Is what I'm saying. Putting it out there. You've used your free entry?
Yeah, mate. I'm done.
He was signed up as soon as it opened. He was like, got the email notification, bought the shoes.
Yeah, I sent them an email asking when they were going to open registration.
Tag Reebok in the post as well. I'm going to buy a pair of those shoes.
Might as well.
Just because.
Might as well.
Yeah, Mario's endorsement there. So
yeah.
Should make him an ambassador.
They genuinely should make Mario an ambassador. It's ridiculous how much he loves Reebok.
He does love Reebok.
Yeah, an awful lot. I mean, Lululemon lose James in their adverts, and he doesn't even wear their stuff. He's wearing Nike right now.
That's
I mean,
not true at all. This is all Lululemon.
I know. I'm really teasing.
Yeah.
I'm really teasing. Just balancing it. Right, team. We've still managed to get Game of Thrones in a podcast. The long-running joke still stands. Thank you very much, James, for bringing your mug along. If you don't recognise the mug, you're a mug. And that's it. We're signing off. Any final words? Nice work.
You must be able to get rid of that clipping. I can hear the clipping in my headphones.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my very best. Apologies for the noise. The trains have been slightly.
Are the trains louder today? I don't remember this last time.
They are normally that loud, but yeah, they have been pretty bad. So yeah, well, I got fucking shit last time for the level, so I thought I'd turn you both up.
Yeah, exactly. You leveled us all off.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll be glad to have you back on again soon.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just gonna edit all your good bits are out.
Yeah, you're the producer now.
Right? Oh, I'm not gonna swear anymore on the podcast and lower the tone.
He'll be holding the camera soon. He'll be like, thumbs up from the other side.
Unbelievable chat. Well, on that note, thanks lads. I always enjoy talking to you. We're done.
Cheers,
Thank you very much. CrossFit Open starts on the 24th, 5:30 p.m. It's a Friday Night Lights, first one for us. Get the shoes, get signed up, get Reebok, get Mario Reebok deal Reebok, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Pete, team. Peace.
Cheers,